there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news is one of AEW's stadium shows set for a downgrade.
I'll tell you when Adam Copeland is returning to the ring.
Just a bunch of crazy things about the Costco guys.
And I'll also tell you when Penta is set to leave AEW. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I am going all in on Costco guy content.
Double chocolate cookies. Boom! This is the news.
All right, let's talk about some fake wrestling before we talk about the real wrestling.
Yes, of course.
Jokes aside, AEW Australia, Grand Slam Australia. It's currently set for, I think it's called the Suncoast or the Suncorp Stadium, in Brisbane.
Yes.
Australia. 15th of February. It's a 50,000 seater stadium.
They haven't sold enough bloody tickets.
It looks like there's going to be a venue change. So this comes from Fightful Select, reporting that a venue change is likely for that show. WrestleTix have added that initial VIP sales for this event were encouraging, but there are still large quantities of tickets available, and much of the seating map is empty seats at the moment. So I think it was Dave Meltzer in The Observer reported a few months ago that seats weren't doing so well for this show. Mm-hmm. I remember when they announced it, a bunch of people who live in Australia were like, well, why have they booked this one in Brisbane rather than this one in this place? Like, it's Australia is freaking huge.
Yeah,
it's part
Sydney,
of the thing.
Melbourne.
Yeah, it's like if you live in Sydney, you can't just go on a day trip to Perth.
No,
it's like that you're committing a day of travel. Like, it's a big ass country, and I think that the core point was like there's not going to be as many people traveling because it's so far, and evidently it's not panned out in the ticket sales. So it sounds like this stadium show in Australia, they bit off a little bit more than they can chew, basically, and they're going to downgrade. Ultimately, a downgrade will result in a better show because there's more. It'll be fuller, which means there'll be more noise on top of it. There won't be massive empty chunks theoretically as well. There's no word on what kind of venue it'll be in, but it seems like they're moving away from the stadium.
Yeah, fair play. I mean, a big swing when they announced this for February, I think it is. I was excited to see a 50,000 seater stadium again with loads of wrestling in, of course. But yeah, like you said, I think Sid was talking about this a while back, and I went to try and buy tickets and thought, wow, I can buy tickets almost anywhere in this stadium. Because we're going, of course. We're not. But like you say, I think it was one of those things where they maybe, like you say, got carried away with the VIP ticket sales, or at least the anticipation for it, and we're hoping, like you say, for more travel for it. But all of our Australian viewers and listeners, thank you for everyone who got in touch. We're like, that's not going to happen. But it's the right decision. Like you say, it's going to make for a far better show in a more intimate stadium, and who knows, hopefully this will be the catalyst. We've already heard before that AEW are doing this, sort of reassessing, okay, well, a big stadium's nice, but there's not enough people in there, it just doesn't work. Same with the sort of venues they're booking for Dynamite. They seem to be shifting to smaller venues for that, which I think is the right call as well.
Yeah, me too. I think a lot of people have this idea of, it's a small venue, it's not going to feel big time. It's like, who gives a crap? Yeah. Who gives a single...
I want a cauldron, baby.
Yeah, who gives a single hoot how big time it looks like? That should be the last of AEW's concerns. Atmosphere takes precedent over having a big wall. And the problem is, these AEW shows in the bigger arenas at the moment, they look like an abyss, like an inky abyss, because they don't light up the top tiers and stuff.
So is this a sign when they're shooting the ceiling?
And you get, when you look at the event photos that they share every week with media, they're all just like this black backdrop, and it doesn't look good. It really doesn't look good. So I'm looking forward to the small arena era, and I think they're wise to downgrade this Brisbane show if it's not selling well.
Someone who could be working that show is Adam Copeland. Great news coming out about him from PW Insider. Obviously, he shattered his leg. He fractured his tibia jumping off a steel cage at Double or Nothing. Obviously, horrible injury.
Bad.
And obviously, he's been out for quite some time now. But good news, PW Insider, reporting that he's been cleared for physical in-ring activity, although he won't return to AEW until he's finished filming for Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
There you go.
Which is expected to conclude in January, so it'll be a nice way to kick off the year for AEW, bringing Adam Copeland back. Good, can't wait to see him back.
Yeah, that was, I don't think he'll go jumping off any more cages again. He took the risk for the big spot and he got hurt. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Sometimes, unfortunately. I've missed him. I think he was a fun guy on TV this year, like the Open Challenge.
Yeah.
The Copeland, as Tony Schiavone called it. Kept calling it. It was like, every week you're going to get a good Adam Copeland match. I can't complain about that. I think he's had a fun run. I think he's been a benefit to the show, to the roster. I do miss him. The only Cope moment I haven't enjoyed was when him and Ricky Starks had that weird butting of heads.
Well, we enjoyed it, just not the way we should have.
Yeah, perversely. So I'm looking forward to having him back. I think it's been a fun run, and he's clearly loving it as well. Yeah. So good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You never want to see someone, especially someone his age, to suffer an injury like that, because it's going to take a while for him to come back. But yeah, good news that he's going to be returning.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily need him back right now. Obviously, we've got the start of the Continental Classic coming this week, so yeah, AEW's going to be kept busy for that for the rest of the year, one would assume. Him returning in January is going to be interesting, and see how he reacts to the lay of the land of John. What's wrong? Why are you so grumpy, mate?
What you doing, brother?
Cheer up.
Yeah, it's only wrestling. Come on, John.
And of course, Adam Copeland, when he returns, he had to surrender the TNT title and all that. We can exclusively reveal who his first opponent's going to be.
There we go. I thought you were going to say Daniel Garcia because he just won.
Oh yeah, well, that'd be fun.
You're going to
see that.
Apply some booking logic instead of opening the box of doom. Brock Anderson, probably not. Probably not
Miro either, but let us know who you'd like to see Adam Copeland face when he returns.
I'd like to see him wrestle Miro.
Hell yeah, in the comment section below.
It's time for story 2+1.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like that footballer who couldn't have number 9 on his shirt, she had 1+8.
That was Zamorano,
That's
wasn't
the one.
it? Yeah, legend. Right.
Hi to football fans in the 90s.
Yeah. Costco Guys. It's our daily segment on the Costco Guys. Boom! Let's do it. Right. So fresh off having the 3-star match of the year, it was awesome. AJ Costco, we got some scoopskis on him, brother.
This is mad.
This is insane. Fightful reporting that he broke his foot before the match.
What?
He broke his foot the afternoon before Full Gear. He kept it quiet and he worked the match anyway. What a pro.
Yeah.
What an absolute pro. So not only does this guy not wrestle in 20 years...
Do you know he tagged with Jim Neidhart back in the day?
He did indeed. What
Amazing.
a legend. So not only was this his first proper match in 20 years, not only was he stepping in and working for like 12 minutes.
Hopping in.
Yeah, evidently. Not only is his fame come from like TikToks and content and stuff rather than actual wrestling, all these things. Not only did he do a really good job, but he did it with a broken foot.
Play.
What a guy.
However you feel about him, fair play.
What a guy. I couldn't have more nice things to say about AJ Bufumo and the whole crew. The Rizzler.
That's
Big
how he
Justice.
broke apparently. The Rizzler just exuded too much Riz, broke his foot.
The charisma just went.
The foot!
Big Justice hitting his spear on QT Marshall. that right at the bone. So apparently AJ was seen on crutches after the match.
Not surprised.
Stuff. He's a legend. But he's also confirmed that they're coming back.
Good.
The Costco Guys are coming back, baby. AJ says that he's got about a 6 to 8 week recovery periods. After that, he will be back in the ring. He will be doing a few things with AEW, and he's got some fun stuff coming our way. He said, I am forever grateful. As always, AJ and Big Justice, we are all elite, and I will be back in a ring before you know it, he concluded. Like, I don't know how anyone on this planet can look at that match and then look at like Big Justice having the time of his life, watching his dad be a superhero. How can you not feel good about this stuff?
It's just a bit of fun, and it was on Zero. It doesn't affect you. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to. It was my match of the night. I'll be honest, I haven't watched Full Gear yet. I think you can only stand up and applaud that he still worked through the match. Fair play to QT Marshall, obviously working in with him through that and making him look so good in there. And 6 to 8 weeks, that means he could be back for the Australia show.
Yeah, bring the boom.
Maybe they shouldn't change venues. Maybe they will sell out after all.
Call it Brisboom.
But also, presumably the only man who can stop the Death Riders now.
It seems that way. Imagine their goofy song hitting. We bring the boom to you. John Moxley's like, oh no!
Don't bring the boom. Not
the Rizzler.
Not the double chocolate cookies.
He just shoves a chicken bake down his ear.
Have some of that.
Take that, John Moxley, you piece of crap. But it's just feel good. It makes you feel good.
Yeah, it's
the stuff that makes you feel good.
If you want to know more information about the Costco Guys, by the way, we did a whole quiz on them on WrestleCulture.
Fantastic.
It is quite the history they've got.
What's your favourite dance they do? Of their, they do the...
Oh, yeah, that one.
That one.
They're all like, I don't know what it... I don't
the one where
TikTok.
they muscle and then they just go like this. It's good stuff. Bring the boom.
Young Bucks, that could be the next one.
They would wipe the floor with the Young Bucks, brother. Hey, look, AJ, Big Justice, spear on QT.
Let's watch this.
You go right through one of the Young Bucks.
Big Boom AJ once worked someone called Dickie Benz in his history.
Dickie Benz.
So there you go.
Big Richard. Oh, Jesus.
But from one group of people who are going to be sticking around with AEW to a person who's set to leave, well, a couple of people, Penta and Rey Fenix, of course. We've long talked about them leaving AEW. But we report that they were heading out the door, speculation about whether or not they were going to WWE and all that. And then, obviously, AEW decided, with the rumours about them talking to WWE, to extend their deals for injury time, etc., etc. But Fightful Select can now reveal that, barring any unforeseen changes, he will become a free agent next week. Now, as I said, we all assume that Ray and Penta are heading to WWE, I should say. But... nothing confirmed yet, nothing that Fightful has heard from their sources. Indie companies obviously looking to book Penta, which makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's set to head out the door next week. He's had a varied time alongside Ray in AEW, but they were tag champs, of course, and they had some phenomenal matches.
Yeah, definitely. They are, the Lucha Brothers are a foundational AEW tag team. Some of the best matches in that division's history, especially early on. It's been a colourful couple of years, shall we say. Just repeating the same points here, really. I mean, I don't agree with adding the time on for the injuries. I think it's...
Whatever company it is, yeah.
Yeah, the company, wrestling companies treat these people as independent contractors and then they hold them to these ridiculous terms.
Yeah.
And yes, they signed the contract, yes, all of this stuff. But the industry holds all the power, so of course they did. I think that Penta was very silly in basically telling the world that, we're going to WWE. Effectively, that's what he did. So, his house organ, various podcasters haven't helped, not mentioning any names in that regard either. But yeah, it's a weird... The next year of them is just going to be odd.
Yeah.
So,
it's best for both parties, I suppose, if AEW haven't got anything for them or weren't utilising them to the way they were hoping for and they want to try something else, that's the best thing for everybody. I'm really excited to see what they look like in WWE. Sidgwick himself has said that they could really, really hit the ground running there. And yeah, exciting times for that tag division. It's really finally starting to light up, at least on the SmackDown side of things.
Yep.
I'm loving what they're doing with the Profits and the Machine Guns and DIY, of course. Chuck these into the mix. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's going to be a while.
Yes.
It's going to be a while. The division could suck again by then, but I would rather they just let them go. But
and if you get the chance to see Penta on the Indies, go and see him because we had him in WCPW and in that sort of small, intimate, him sort of smashing people into chairs is quite the sight to behold.
There you go. Do the
zero.
There you go.
Yeah. Really
nice
exciting time.
Nice one. Wrestling masks. They wear masks.
They do.
They are the Lucha Brothers.
Tell you what doesn't wear a mask.
This video.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it got cancelled during COVID. Actually, this one right here.
Check it out.
Just wouldn't wear a mask. What an asshole. Be nice to other people.
Yeah.
And animals.
Indeed.
Wicked.